where you're calling from just before we start?
Hi, Duncan. Eugene, South Africa.
Good evening, Eugene. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks. How are you doing?
Good. I'm fantastic. Thanks. Things are buzzing, flying. I'm on fire.
Yes, indeed, my friend. Great, exciting times ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely fantastic. Anybody else? Hi, Robert. Hi, Robert. Good to have you on.
Reg Jit, Northern Ireland.
Hi, Reg. How are you?
On fire.
Good. Anybody else just want to unmute themselves and let everybody?
Hello, it's Andy from Luton.
Hi, Andy. Good to have you on.
Good to be here.
Hi, Duncan. It's Colin Simmons.
Hi, Colin. How are you tonight?
I'm fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
Good, good. Anybody else just want to unmute themselves? Let everybody know where you're calling from. We're going to be starting in a few seconds. A few more calling on. Anybody else want to unmute themselves? Just so you know, your microphone is at the bottom left on the screen. And you also have a camera there if you want to open up your camera. Anybody else just want to announce where the name and where you're calling from? Okay, I'm going to get started.
Ebenezer from Ghana.
Hi, good to have you on.
Good to have you too. How are you, Duncan?
I'm fantastic, thanks.
Good, good.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, can somebody just unmute themselves and tell me, can you see that slide clear as a bell?
Yeah, clear as a bell, Duncan.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. Welcome to the Sunday evening call. My name's Duncan Ward. I'm calling from North Wales. Just to give you a brief background about myself, I've been making a full-time living online. Started off in multi-level marketing and then veered more to cryptocurrency. Made a fantastic living over the years, but this last year, 2018, was one of the worst years I've had for a long time. I was looking for something, didn't know what. All the things I was doing were okay, but nothing fantastic, to be honest. And like a lot of people, I've been let down by quite a few companies, especially recently. And things got to a critical point where I had more money going out than coming in. I've not been in that situation for a long time. I needed something, didn't know what. And a very good friend of mine, John Van Derzen, sent me a video. I did watch it. I shouldn't have really watched it that day because I wasn't in a good place on that particular day. And I watched it and didn't do anything about it. He did, thanking John for doing so, messaged me again 7 days later. And in that message, he just mentioned that he had received in his bank $56,000 in 16 days. Well, I don't know about you, but I've never heard anybody receiving that kind of money in their bank in that short a period. So I had to call him. I wanted to know everything about what was behind the company and all the questions you really should ask when looking at any system or business. And cut a long story short, I joined that night. I started off with $250. That's all I ever put into the system, and one of the best decisions I've ever made. That company that I started with in October led to this company, Impact101, which all I can say to you is the company I was with was like the Mini, and this is the Ferrari. So I'm here tonight to tell you all about Impact101, where it's at, where it's going, and what's in it for you, and how this can literally change your situation if you have the desire and are willing to take action. So let's just get started. One of the things I want to talk about is the legality of crowdfunding. A lot of people get confused by it, but there are basically four main types. You can see them there: loan-based, investment-based, donation-based, and prepayment or reward-based. And most of the options of crowdfunding are regulated, but the one type that is not regulated, why? Because it doesn't need to be, is peer-to-peer, because peer-to-peer crowdfunding is totally legal in every country in the world. And if you're anything like me, the first person I spoke to about this system said to me it was illegal. I knew he was incorrect, but I didn't want to argue with him, and I just wanted to be totally 100% sure myself. So I phoned up a friend of mine who's a solicitor, asked him if he could do me a favor and come back to me and tell me who was right and who was wrong. And I can tell you my friend was wrong and I was totally correct. This system and this system of crowdfunding and the company, the process that they use is totally legal in every country in the world. So if you get told by anybody that this is illegal, they are incorrect. Just go and do your own research. There's lots of information you can get on the internet, but make sure you're asking the right question. This is peer-to-peer crowdfunding. Okay, now why is crowdfunding growing so fast? You will be able to see in a minute how fast it's growing and why it's growing so big. And it's for one reason only. Mainly, it's the banking crisis that happened in 2006, 2008. Now, we all remember that. And if you think that is the last banking crisis, I think you're not aware of what's going on, because I honestly think that the next banking crisis is going to be much bigger than the first, the last one. It's the banking system that's causing the problem. The banks are failing people. People have lost trust in the banking system and the mortgage system, and the bank system is giving the problem. It's causing the problem. People need to borrow money, and the banks aren't even lending money anymore, not like they used to. So the bank, there is a problem in the financial system. There has to be a better way. As I said, banks don't lend money like they used to. They manage now securities. They just create a signature, create a credit, and generate money from thin air. And that affects everybody. Every country in the world has the same problems. Just reading today about what's about to happen to the Australian banking system and mortgage problems and what's about to happen there in that country. So who is crowdfunding? Well, there's lots of companies. You can see some of the main ones on this slide here. I've heard of a lot of these companies, but didn't really understand what they were involved in. I actually thought a lot of them were low. But you've heard of Indiegogo, GoFundMe, Circle Up. These are just the top companies that you'll find on the internet, but it's not just on the internet. It is now through social media sites. Now, GoFundMe is the #1 company right now. They have raised to date $5 billion through their system. And this company and the owner of this company intends to make Impact101 the #1 crowdfunding system in the world. And I honestly think he will do it. And even if he doesn't quite do it, that'll give everybody on this call and anybody who decides to join us a massive advantage over a lot of other ways of generating revenue. So let's have a look at the market size. Fundly is a website you can go to and you'll find this information yourself. $34 billion was donated through crowdfunding in 2017, and that's projected to grow to $300 billion by 25. So how much of this market would you like? How fast is it growing? Well, according to industry experts, again, this has come from the internet, crowdfundinginsider.com. According to experts, crowdfunding is currently growing year on year by 136%. That is huge. Just compare that to any other industry that you're aware of. Most are declining, not growing like that. Now, social media sites are all also getting in on crowdfunding. And you've got to ask yourself a question from major companies like PayPal, the largest payment provider in the world. they do a lot of research, a lot of background searching to make sure that if they're going to apply any new system to their worldwide sites, one, it's a huge investment, and two, they want to make sure that they're at the beginning of the trend. So PayPal now allows people to use their platform to crowdfund, and Facebook also now jumping in on this industry. I don't know why, but I'm saying my internet is unstable. So who can crowdfund? Well, literally anybody. You don't have to be a big company to get donations. You don't even need to be a charity. A lot of people have this idea that you have to be a charity or have to be a company. You don't. You only need to be 18 years or over. You do need a phone and a computer, and as long as you've got the internet access, you can literally generate revenue from any country, anywhere in the world. On this slide here, you can see a broke father in the UK launched a crowdfunding system to generate revenue for his family just to pay for Christmas, and within a few hours, he'd raised 2,000. This is the man behind the company, Frank Servedio. He's been here 45 years in business. He's spent 20 years in marketing. He has vast sales experience. In 2002, he formed Castle Rock Research, study guides, specializing in marketing QR codes and mobile landing pages. And in 2011, he formed QRGL Marketing Incorporated with Hans Looman, who's his main IT guy. And Frank and Hans found out about the massive growth of crowdfunding and decided from the previous company that I got involved with, because Frank was involved in that as well, he decided, I'm going to go and do this myself. I'm going to do it properly and using the latest technology. That's what they both did in literally just over a month ago. Impact101 was added as another arm to their existing company, QRGL. So this person and his partner have vast experience in business. They are a very successful marketing company and specialists in technology-based growth. And this is the guy behind the technology, Hans Looman. He's Dutch, lives in Canada, 30 years experience developing custom solutions for leading high-tech companies. He's on the board of directors with Link Global Technologies Incorporated, to do with the Canadian blockchain. And as I said, he and Frank launched Impact101 literally just over a month ago. So imagine if you got involved in these companies just a few years ago. All these companies in our lifetime have become household brand names in every country in the world. Now, the reason for that is because of technology and also because of the internet. And technology and the internet is changing the way we do business, and it's a global market now. And years ago, it's like multi-level marketing companies, they would take years before they got into 2 or 3 countries, never mind into the whole world. Companies like Google now, literally every person practically in the world will have heard of that name and will probably be using it. So imagine getting involved in a company like that. Imagine getting involved with Microsoft or Amazon. Ask yourself this question: how wealthy would you be today? Now, this company was launched, as I said, on the 17th of January 2019, literally just over a month ago. The timing couldn't be better. Right now, this company is taking advantage of the huge growth in not only crowdfunding, but also taking advantage of the fact that the banking system is failing people. And this couldn't be a better time to get involved in this industry. So how does it work? Well, it's a single crowdfunding and marketing system that allows you to receive half of everything that happens in your donation grids forever. Literally, this will carry on for as long as you keep donating. You will keep receiving, and you'll always keep receiving 3 times more than you're donating. Simple as that. Impact101 is based on a 2x2 grid process. It is actually, this process is the most successful, what they call follow me donation process in the history of these type of systems. And this is the most successful, simplest system I have ever seen. Anybody that doesn't understand what follow me it means, basically it means that anybody that you have personally introduced, once they have filled and finished their grids, they literally follow you in every grid throughout the life of this system. In other words, it just goes on and on forever. So Impact101 is a team crowdfunding system that provides help not from your own efforts, 100% from your own efforts. It's from help from above and below. So in other words, anybody you introduce or your sponsor introduces, you benefit from their efforts as well. So it is a team system. It's working together, and you can receive donations literally seconds after registering. So it's very fast and very quickly moves. Impact101 is based, as I said, on a peer-to-peer. That is basically person-to-person team crowdfunding system, which means there's no middlemen. Now, this is one of the most important things that I loved about this. I, like a lot of people, have been dependent on a company holding my funds. I send my money to the company, or often the funds have to go through a middle payments system like a bank or a processing system, and that depends on whether they carry on whether they do their job properly. There is no middlemen in this system. The only money that ever goes to this company is the license fee. It's $25 for 6 months or $40 for a year. After that, the donations are literally one person sending them directly to another person. That is it. When I heard about that, that's what attracted me to this system. It's a brilliant way of anybody getting themselves out of debt, raising funds for whatever purpose they require. It might be to expand your business, it might be to send your kids to private school, whatever you want. It really is up to each individual. So Impact101 provides you with an easy to navigate, totally automated, feature-rich dashboard, and this displays everything in real time and allows you to monitor your donations literally seconds by second. Now, this is the inside of the site. So when you first click the link from the person that told you about this, it is a 5-step system. You basically first pay for your membership. Once you've paid for your membership, either the $25 or the $40 for a year, that is, as I said, the only money that ever goes to the company. After that, you need to choose which grid or grids you want to start with. The good thing about picking a grid, you can start this system with as little as $40 plus the $25 minimum for the 6-month license. So you can start this system for as little as $65. Now, you can choose more than one grid. You've just got to decide, or everybody's got to decide a level that is comfortable to them. But the good thing about it is the only time you'll outlay any money from your own pocket. After that, it is a completely self-funding system. Once you've chosen your grid levels, you need to then set up your payment methods, and they are just basically the methods you would like to receive donations from other people. My advice is set up as many methods as you possibly can. The more that you have, the better, because you don't know. There are people going to be sending you donations from all sorts of countries throughout the world. So the more options you give them, the easier it is for them. Then you need to donate first to the person that introduced you, and then the other half goes to a person that you will drop into the matrix, into the grid, sorry. And from that point, you're up and running. Your only job then is to share this with others. Simple as that. We'll talk more about that later. So these are the two options, $25 for 6 months or $40 for a year. You can choose to pay either through PayPal, or if you prefer from a credit or debit card, you can choose to pay with Bitcoin, Dash, and there is also a system for tokens. That is the back office place where you put your methods of receiving donations, and you will also you will literally see on your dashboard who you need to send the donation to. So these are the grids. There are 8 in total. As I said, you can start with 1, you can have 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. It really is up to each individual as to how many you start with. Obviously, the objective is to have all 8 running. You can only ever have 1 at each level open at any one time. So the maximum you can have open is 8. I personally started with the first 4 grids, but it really is up to each individual of what level you decide to start with. But they all work exactly the same. You'll notice they all have 6 empty spaces in them. And as those spaces fill, you basically receive 6 times half of what you donated initially. So let's just take that as an example. If I take the $40 grid, you are going to donate $20 to one person, $20 to another, and then you are eligible to receive back 6 times $20. So that's 120, the figure you can see in the red. Exactly the same for the $80 grid. You donate 40, half to one person, 40 goes to another, and you're now eligible to receive back 6 times $40, which is $240. Now remember, that can be a mixture of your efforts, people you've introduced, or your sponsor introducing people and they fill those positions. Either way, it doesn't matter where they come from, whether it comes from your sponsor, you, or people you've introduced. You get exactly the same result. The good thing is it's a team effort and everybody benefits. So hope everybody picks that up just to show you that in reality. So first step is to register. You send you decide, to pay the $25 or the $40 to the company, and you now need to donate. It really doesn't matter which grid or grids you start with. Once you've registered, you need to donate. As soon as you've donated to the 2 people, you are now classed as an active member. And all you need to do now from that point is to find 2 other people that need or want more money now, and just help those 2 people do exactly the same. Help them register and help them find 2 other people that need or want more money now. And that is it. If you can find 2 people and just help them find 2 people each. So there's, let's say you introduce Sue and you introduce Bill. Help Sue now introduce Sally and Jack. Bill, and the same with Bill. Bill introduces Tom and somebody else in that right-hand position. And that is the grid filled. And you will have received 3 times what you started with back. Now, it really doesn't matter what combination those people come in with, it's exactly the same result. The good thing about this is those people that you personally introduced, when they have filled their grid, they follow you right the way through the system for life. So what does that mean? Well, that means every time you've finished a grid and they've finished a grid, those people drop back into your grid that you've personally introduced, and they will donate back to you again. And remember, behind them is their team. So it's a brilliant system, very simple really, although it does take a little bit to get your head around it, but it's like anything. It's like me trying to teach you how to drive a car. You're never going to really learn how to drive a car until you actually get in it and do it. So let me just go through that again. There's you. Let's say as an example, you introduce Sue and you help Sue as an example. Well, let's just change that, sorry. Let's say, as an example, Bill is introduced by your sponsor as an example. So you've personally introduced Sue, and Bill was introduced by your sponsor. Now you work with Sue, and Sue introduces Sally. Sally donates half to Sue and half to you. You will have already received $20 from Sue, and you've already received $20 from Bill as well. Now Sue introduces Jack. Jack donates half to Sue and half to you. And now Bill, let's say, introduces Tom. Tom donates half to Bill and half to you. And now Bill introduces Dan. Dan donates half to Bill and half to you. Either way, whatever happens, this is the $40 grid. That can happen exactly the same in the $80, the $150, and so on. on that exact same system works on every grid exactly the same way. So these are all the 8 grids. Obviously, it's in everybody's interest to open up all 8 levels as quickly as possible. I can tell you that can happen literally, well, if somebody really wants to, they could start with all 8 levels in one go. It really is up to each individual. But as you can see in each level on the first grid there, you can see that's what you give. So on level 1, you give $40, $80, $150, and so on. And then the next section shows you that split 50-50. So in level 1, you would donate $20 to one person, $20 to another. In the second level, $40 to one person, $40 to another. And then the next grid shows you will receive 6 times the $20 in level 1, 6 times $40 in level 2, and so on. Now ask yourself a question. Would you rather receive, as an example in level 8, $2,400 for each donation that drops into your grid, or would you rather receive 6 times $20? You can get the idea of what I mean. Just work this out. If you had all 8 grids open and you received one person dropped into your matrix, whether that be you, your sponsor, or somebody you've introduced, on each level in, let's say, in a month, okay, just work out what that is. I can tell you it's well over 5,000 a month just on that happening once. Now I can tell you, I've been out at the cinema tonight, came back in, and there must be about 5 donations have been received, and I think the grid today alone on the first grid, the $40 grid, has finished twice today. So it can happen very quickly. So it doesn't matter what your background or previous experience is. Impact System is a system to help you have success. It's a fully automated system that will help you fill your donation grids quickly. It does most of the work for you by doing the explaining for you. Using our system creates an endless stream of donations. Literally, it never stops. As long as you keep donating, you keep receiving, and you will always receive, as I said, more than you're donating. As a member, you have the complete access to the entire system, which includes a fully customized and personalized mobile landing page. And that alone, that landing page, actually sells, Frank used to sell, or still does, that system to other companies for $250 a year. And we actually get 2 of these. One is the Impact 101, and one is to allow you to customize and promote any business, other business that you might do. So you actually get 2 of those. So that is a fantastic product that's part of this $25 for 6 months. You get your own personalized website, just like this one, where people can get more information and join your team. You get help and support from a team of leaders who will walk you through everything. And they'll be there to back up and help you, support you all the way. We do, or I do, these calls purely for one thing, to help you just invite people after they've watched the video onto a call like this. We will run through this presentation just to get them more familiar with it, and then we have a questions and answers afterwards. So there is literally a system in place to help you. The Impact 101 system is for success, and it's designed to get you the results you want and you deserve. It's working for hundreds, thousands of people around the globe now. We're now in 102 countries, literally in less than a month. And just to give you an idea of what kind of traffic is coming to this site, literally a couple of days ago, Frank announced that we had 1 million views to the site in literally less than 1 month. So this is a system set to help you build as bigger donations as you want to get. Everything is tracked in your back office. You can see all the donations you send out and all the donations that are coming to you. It's all categorized, and you can see everything. Donations that you need to confirm, donations to be received, and then you've got a complete history of donations you've sent and donations that you have received. That's it. There are videos on every level, every step of the way. As I said, you get a fully branded, configurable mobile marketing solution system, which not only markets Impact101, but you can literally brand it to any other business you do. So welcome to Impact101. My advice is if you're brand new on this call, get back to the person who invited you on this call. First of all, find your reason for doing this, whatever your dream is, your goal is, or your ambition is. Start thinking about that again. If you've lost faith in companies that you've been involved in, anything like me, I've been let down so many times you wouldn't believe it. But the one thing I won't do is ever give up. I honestly think that things happen for a reason, and that the journey just led me to this place, this time with this company. And I really mean this. I have never been with a company that supports their people as fantastic as this company supports us. My advice is learn the system. All you do is list. In other words, do a list of people, contact those people, show them a video, and follow up. That is the most important bit, and work as a team. You know, it's a team effort. It makes it a lot easier when you work as a team rather than working on your own. Okay, so that's the presentation. I'm just going to stop sharing, and I'm going to open up the call for, just bear with me a second. So if anybody wants to open up their mic, if you have any questions, now is your chance. I'm just going to run through with a few basic questions that a lot of people ask. First thing is, as I said to you, somebody said to me that this is illegal. I did doubt myself when he said that, so I decided to phone up my solicitor, as I said, and I can tell you that he is not the only one. This is totally legal in every country in the world. So if anybody says that to you, go and do your own research. You've got to make yourself bulletproof, and I can honestly say when you totally understand this system, you will never believe what a friend tells you unless you've checked it out, because people love to give an opinion often for things they know nothing about. The only other questions a lot of people say, you do get people saying, oh, it's a pyramid. Well, I don't know about you, but every business, every organization is a pyramid shape. The difference is in a corporate pyramid, or if you work for a company, you might be, unless you own the company, you might be halfway down or at the bottom of that pyramid. Now, you're never ever going to get to earn the income of the person that owns that company. In this pyramid, you could be introduced by somebody, and if you decide to work harder than that person, you can actually earn twice as much, if not 10 times more than that person. So this is what I would call a much fairer pyramid than the corporate pyramid or the organizational pyramid. So yes, it is a pyramid shape, but it depends what somebody means by that. The only other question people say is, how sustainable is it? Well, nothing lasts forever. I wouldn't ever say anything lasts forever. I have got no idea of what could happen in the world. I've got no control over that. But the one thing I can tell you is crowdfunding right now is coming of age. Why? Because of social media. Now, there are other companies that have been going for years and years and years, and they're still going to this day. This company has got technology and a system behind it like no other company, and we are just at the beginning of it. We're about to have 7 countries' languages on the website. We have already got the videos in some of those languages. Very soon, the website will be in 7 main languages. And imagine where this company is going to be in another month when we have the site in the language of the person that's operating in that country. We're right at the beginning here. We haven't seen anything yet, and there's a lot more yet to come out. Hope that helps. I know Colin's on the call. Colin, would you just like to, if you can, unmute yourself and just tell everybody a little bit about your feelings and your experience with Impact 101 since you've been involved?
Yeah, sure, Duncan. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great. Yeah. I joined Impact 101 on the day it was launched. I thought I need to test this system to see how good it really is. I heard that the technology behind this company was second to none. So I've been involved only 4 weeks, which is not a great deal of time. But I'll tell you now, the technology behind this company I've never seen before. Everything works. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's probably, we're all in a great position. It's as simple as that. Crowdfunding, as Duncan has said, is a huge growing industry. Now, where it falls down for most crowdfunding companies is that people will crowdfund and ask people for donations. People don't usually have a reason to donate. It's hard work. People need a good reason to donate. So the donator can also become the receiver. This is a major shift in the success of crowdfunding. Everybody likes to receive donations. They're happy to give a donation if it's possible that they can receive a donation. And that's exactly what we have here with Impact 101. We're all here at the very beginning of a huge player that's going to take over this industry. Yeah, what can I say, Duncan? It's been incredible, absolutely incredible. My own team has grown to over 11 countries in a short space of time, or 4 weeks. It's just exploding, and that's because we have the tools. There's no explaining. I'm going to be an expert to explain crowdfunding. I just need to share a video. The more times I share it, the bigger my business becomes, or my platform becomes.
Colin, just while you're on the call, just tell people what process you go in contacting people. How do you get people?
Oh, I use Facebook Messenger quite a lot. I love to talk. I love to chat. I'm happy to listen to what somebody's doing, because I know that they will ask me, and what are you doing? And I'll tell them that I'm involved in a phenomenal business that's exploding around the globe. And they'll say, tell me more. And I'll say, look, I've got a short video that I can send you that explains it better than I can. How soon can you watch it? Then I go quiet. I'll wait for them to answer. And then I want to send them the video. And then the most important thing is I'll follow them up after the video. And I'll say, you know, it's good, isn't it? It's very, very simple. And I know it works because it's already in 100 countries in the first 4 weeks.
Fantastic. Thank you, Colin. Colin, is there any other points that you want to cover, that main questions people ask, other than legality, longevity?
Yeah, the main thing really is that people think, can I do this? I don't like selling to anybody. I've got friends that have tried business in the past and they may well have lost money. So can I do this? The beauty of what we have here is that only $25, which is the license fee, goes to the company every 6 months. That's about, I don't know, $3 or $4 a month that is. Every 6 months, $25. Every other donation that I send, 100% of that donation goes directly to somebody else, from my bank account directly to somebody else's bank account. Every donation I receive, 100% of that donation lands straight in my bank account, or straight in my PayPal account, or straight in my Bitcoin wallet. That puts us all in control of our own funds, which is absolutely fantastic. People say that they don't want to be salespeople, and I totally understand that. The beauty of the system is that we don't need salespeople. All we need to be able to do is share a video. You have a conversation with somebody, you find out if they're interested to see how this works, and you send them a video. Very simple, very duplicatable. And this is already proven. So it's not a great idea. It's already working as we speak right now.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate your time and your effort tonight. Just stay on the call if you don't mind. I don't know whether anybody else wants to open up their mic. If you've got any questions, if you want to ask a question, now's your chance. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Hi, Fergus.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you? Good to have you on.
Good, thanks. Just a quick question. So far, have you had any charities become involved? Because obviously this would be a great platform for them to
any what? Sorry, charities? Did you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know of any personally, but there might be somebody on the call that has. I don't know, but I can find out, Fergus. Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, listen, you can create or generate your own reason or your own charity that you particularly want to help. As you can see on the main page, there are charitable groups there that you can donate to that don't have to be connected. So somebody can donate to that cause rather than joining 101.
Okay.
So you could actually nominate, as an example, Fergus, a particular group or a charity that you particularly feel passionate about, and that can be run separately. And literally, as Colin was saying, while we're talking about this is the main difference between what we do or Impact101 does against all the other crowdfunding systems out there. If you ask yourself this question, they all do it for a reason, to make money. Do you think PayPal are doing it for the good of the health? No, they're not.
No.
Okay, so the question to ask is, how do they make the money? Now, I can tell you in Impact101, the only money that ever goes to the company, as I said, is the $25 or the $40 for a year. That is it. 100% of the donation goes from one person directly to another. There is no charge from the company or percentage taken from the company. Now, in other crowdfunding systems, I can tell you, I know of one company, actually one of the biggest, charges, I think it's 12% per donation. Yeah. So there's the main difference. You could be sending a donation through some of the other crowdfunding systems, and only, well, a lot of it goes to the person or the cause, but a certain percentage is going to the company, whereas this 100% is going to the person that you're sending it to.
That's great. Thanks, Dr. for that.
You're welcome. Okay. Anybody else got any questions before we wrap up for the night? I know tonight's call I had to do at 9 o'clock. We will be going back to 8 o'clock, the normal time in future. But anybody else want to unmute themselves? Anybody willing to or wanting to give a quick testimonial? Unmute yourself if you do. No? Okay.
I've got a question, Duncan. Reg here.
Hi, Reg. Fire away.
Yes, what we were talking about today. Is there any updates on when we might get the Spanish video?
Well, I know Spanish. I'm sure Spanish was on the 7 countries. Colin, have you got a list of the countries that Frank stated would be the first?
I haven't actually, to be honest, but Spanish is obviously one of the stronger ones, so that will be on there.
Yeah, that's what I said to you.
One of the next ones for sure.
Yes, I'm almost certain it is. I will find out for you, Reg. But very soon, the first sites will be completed in the languages. I know there is an update. Is it tomorrow? Is it Monday night or is it Tuesday night? I know there is a company update. It was talked about on the Saturday training call. And just while I'm talking about that, if anybody on this call didn't listen to that training call on Saturday evening, it's in your back office, really worth going to listen to. If you are in this system to really start changing your situation, you really do need to listen to that call. It'll just give you some tips on what to do and how to move forward fast in this. So I really would recommend, it's in your back office, go and have a look. It's under the video sections. Fantastic training from 2 of the best people I have ever worked with in any business. And I mean that. John and Joe are just literally brilliant. What I call first-class top leaders. But they don't just talk about it and teach it, they actually do it themselves. So Reg, hope that answers your question. That there is an update. I think it's Monday night. I need to find out, but it was announced that there is a company called either Monday or Tuesday night. So we should.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. My Spanish contact is waiting for it, obviously.
Okay. Does your Spanish contact speak English, Reg?
Very little.
Okay. Well, you see, this is the problem with, obviously, but it's not stopping a lot of people. But all you need is one person in that country that speaks English that you can explain it to, get them to understand it, and they can literally then, translate it for them. But very soon we will have the site in various languages anyway, and then we won't have that problem.
Brilliant.
Okay. Thanks, Reg. Anybody else want to unmute themselves, ask any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to finish for the night, and I'm sure you want to get back to your families on a Sunday night here.
There is a quick question, Duncan, about the French PowerPoint. Now, we do have the video already converted into French.
Yes.
So I think it's fair to say that the French website will be soon, and there will be PowerPoint in all the languages coming at some stage soon as well. But we are only 4 weeks old. So we have to give them a bit of time. You know, it's going to take time to get all this material together.
Yeah, I just noticed Adrian has posted, because of the delivery issues with email, yes, the system will no longer require email verification upon registration of a new account. Yeah, this is quite important. Just so you know, members are encouraged to use the internal messaging system. You can actually internally message people you need to donate to, or people you are about to receive a donation from. You don't need to have their email address. You can literally just message them internally, and also the company will keep us in contact with anything that's going on internally as well. So keep your eye on that. The reason for that is, I mean, I had it today. It's nothing to do with the company, but there are certain people that have either too strong a security on their emails, and they don't get emails, or they go astray for whatever reason. So to make sure that this doesn't happen, it doesn't cause an issue, all messaging is done internally on the website. And also you don't need to wait any longer for activation emails. That is finishing. So I've heard that is a new thing for me as well. So thank you for that, Adrian, and letting us know about that. Anybody else question before we go?
Yeah, Reg here again. One last question.
Okay, Reg.
I have a prospect. He's actually registered in London. That's all he's done. He's made no donation to the company or to his upline or anybody. I'll just keep feeding him information, should I? Just to keep him interested?
Yeah, well, you can also message him, Reg, because if he has registered, but he hasn't, has he paid the license fee?
No.
Okay, but you have got his email address, yes?
Correct, and his phone number. Okay,
well, I would give him a call, have a chat with him. I mean, listen, you can't make people do it. They either want to do it or don't. I won't chase anybody.
No.
It really is up to them. You know that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I'm a great believer. I say to my people, if you call me, I will call you back. If you don't call me, you either don't need me, or you're busy doing it without me, or you're not interested. Simple as that. So if I don't hear from people, I won't chase them. They either have to call me, I will help them. As you know, Reg, you call me quite regularly. That's what I want. I want people to chase me, not I'm chasing them. And that is the way you should treat this business right from the start. Don't chase people. Don't convince people. Have people, you know, say, how do I convince my friend you should do this? Well, don't convince anybody. Hope that helps. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to say goodnight now. If you want to say goodnight, I'll open up all the mics, and look out for the company update. It's either Monday or Tuesday. I'm sorry, I didn't come prepared with it. I should have, but anyway, I didn't. But look out for that. It'll be posted in your back office anyway. So thanks very much, everybody. And we will be back on Thursday at 8 o'clock and the following Sunday at 8 o'clock also. Thanks very much, everybody, and good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Duncan.
Thanks, Duncan.
Thanks, Duncan.
Thanks, Duncan.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.